Summer Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed, baby. Now, a little heavyweight news that just flies under the radar like it just does. And I don't really have much, to talk about. I just read it. Matter of fact, about a day and a half ago and see, just under the rug. So it's your boy Luis Ortiz, contender, challenged for the title twice, lost to Deontay Wilder twice. But, a generally bad dude and everybody know it, right? So he weighed in on Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Usyk, the rematch. And his opinion is Alexander Usyk, going to beat Joshua again. Or basically he said it with Joshua going to lose again. So, you kind of expect somebody to, push up like, oh, Ortiz, shut up. Shut up. I'll come beat you. I didn't, I just kind of hoping that I was going to read something. But it's Luis Ortiz. So again, crickets. Well, that's his opinion about Joshua against Usyk. He could be right, man. Like, basically, I'm similar in opinion, right? We've documented that, this is Alexander Usyk we talking about, basically. Just because he's smaller, man, the guy's done, miraculous things, so we didn't have to go there. You know what I'm saying? But, you kind of would think Ortiz, somebody going to tell the man, hey, something. We're going to hear anybody, because it's Ortiz news is funny. It's because you don't really have too much news. But does anybody really believe that Luis Ortiz is over there over 40 somewhere and don't want to fight nobody? Or do we really believe that? You know what I'm saying? Because nothing happens. He's called Joshua the female cat. Nothing happens. He was mandated to fight Dillian White. Dillian White says no. He's called Dillian White out on several occasions. And nothing happens, right? He's there. And just really nothing happens. No one's, really interested. And he's ranked in all 4 sanctioning bodies. So there's no reason to not. So it's just kind of funny. That's the funniest movie out there. In the movie, wait a minute. It's not the funniest one. We got another funny movie over here, because we know Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz is a Negro League fighter. So he has a neighbor in Demetrius Andrade. His movie's kind of funny too. It's like, hey, boom, boom, boom. Canelo wouldn't fight him for $40 million at 140, 160, for undisputed, 154, then 160, and anywhere else, he won't fight him. Gennady Golovkin either. Demetrius Andrade just there 6 years with a title, and nobody really wants it. And we talk about other fighters because at the end of the day, we're not giving Demetrius Andrade Canelo because he'll probably embarrass him or beat him convincingly enough that we can't cheat him, and then he's a superstar. We can't let that happen. And his neighbor, Demetrius Andrade's neighbor, would be like Terrence Crawford in the welterweight division. Well, shoot. We cannot get this dude Manny Pacquiao. He's a superstar at that point. Right? Then, who'll be calling the shots? It's got a lot to do with that. We can just sit back and everybody watches all the blockbuster movies like Canelo and Plant about to happen. I hear about Canelo and Plant. I'm pissed off about the fight. And that's no slight at all to Caleb Plant. Right? Caleb Plant is a great fighter. Caleb Plant, I can do a whole stuff, and I probably have videos about Caleb Plant. It's a boy. But this fight shouldn't be happening. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not, I can't just move on. This fight is happening, and we still don't know who's undisputed middleweight champion. Why is that? Because Canelo didn't fight Demetrius Andrade. He fights Demetrius Andrade. He's undisputed champion at 160. Then he's moving up here to become undisputed, but he would have had to fight for the WBC, beaten Benavidez. Then this fight with Caleb Plant would be a whole different thing that I'm talking about. But it's the way it's happening, I don't move on because I'm lived through it. You know what I'm saying? You don't just move. This ain't supposed to be happening. Whatever that is happening, but no. We can't be having those little hiccups for the best fighter in all of boxing that we know won't let these things happen. So everybody can watch those blockbuster movies, but I'm watching them B movies over here. The Demetrius Andrade and Canelo saga that didn't happen. That exists. That's a good movie. You just got to go check it out, right? The big blockbuster that they're telling you to go watch is what's happening. Not ain't what's happening. That one's a good one. Shoot, Terrence Crawford, man, Everybody, he ain't fought nobody. I don't care what nobody say, what they gonna tell you. If you live through it, shit, Thomas Delorme was something. Derry Jean was something. All something. You know, it's way back there. They're gonna act like Victor Postal. Ain't nothing. Did you live through it? Did you? If you just started talking and you don't know and you went to just watch Victor Postal on YouTube and you saw him there and you saw Crawford dominating him, yeah, go ahead. But Ukraine bring the damn pain. Victor Postal was all that. He was just coming off of Lucas Matisse, and if you lived through that, I know I respected the hell out of Victor Postal at that particular time. Those 2 years prior to that fight, he was all that. And Victor Postal ain't getting dominated like Terrence Crawford did. And a whole lot of other stuff. It's just everybody, you know, that he's been doing stuff. And the fact that we ain't giving him Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao's supposed to be one of the top best. He's a number 2 on the greatest fighters of all time list of recently. Which is, you know, that's a whole different video. But they put him number 2 right behind Floyd Mayweather. So that guy, in his prime, a little bit past it, maybe 34, wasn't fighting Terrence Crawford. That guy's promoter said, we ain't giving him Terrence Crawford because he can get hurt. I'm worried about his well-being. His Freddie Roach, his trainer, didn't want him. Shoot, Terrence Crawford is a younger Floyd Mayweather. So they didn't want the second best fighter of all time to get in the ring with this guy for also around 6 years. You see what I'm saying? Same movie as Demetrius Andrade, a little different script, but we ain't giving him the opportunity to become superstar. Is the end of the movie. Duh, you know, to fade out. He didn't become a superstar, but it's still a damn good movie. And at the end, he's like he shoulda. So I'm watching the he shoulda movies, right? I'm seeing those. I see a Guillermo Rigondeaux existing, and just fight the champion, and make the champion not be able to hit a guy over 40 years old, and he can't hit him. He lands the better punches, and people say he ran, instead of celebrating that he just made that guy look amateurisque. Right? So, you know, hey, you can watch the blockbusters. I'm watching them. So my point is, Louis, the real King Kong Ortiz, one of the chairmen of the Negro League Fighters, I might add. This guy just said something. Let's just say, anybody gonna jump and say, hey, whatever? It's a whole bunch of people feeling froggy. Don't try to act like we didn't remember. Look at this crickets with Joe Joyce. Do you remember what, about 6 weeks ago, Joyce came out and said he didn't want that smoke or fire or heat? Forgot which one it was. Right? Louis Real King Kong Ortiz let that go. He said, wait a minute. Now. And then nothing again. Right? Because we know Joe Joyce said something way back, and his trainer at that point, Abel Sanchez, said, no, he was just joking. We are not ready for you. And Ortiz was over 40 then. So those are the real good movies. You can call them B movies if you want. Right? You can call them B movies if you want. Those are spectacular films that are happening right now. They don't want you to see them, right? But you a grown damn man or woman, right? Go watch the good movies. The Louis Ortiz movie, you know what I'm saying? The Demetrius Andrade movie. That one's going to be a blockbuster, right? Be careful with that one. The Terrence Crawford movie, right? I got Pacquiao scared. Ain't nobody got that. They might put that in the horror section, right? There's some good stuff popping off. Y'all check it out. You know, Louis the Real King Ortiz thinks Anthony Joshua gonna lose to Usyk again. Anybody mad about that? Step to him. Don't Sports Talk Worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.